I am going solo. I'm going to be traveling on my own. And I think that's a big deal for men, especially over 50 years old. I'm going to say I'm actually over 65 years old to be traveling solo. And I'm a little bit nervous about this. I have been traveling full time for the last 5 years. If you know this channel, you know my wife, Chris, and you know me, Steve, and we are Eat, Walk, Learn. We are full-time travelers. We sold everything that we owned in Denver, Colorado in 2021 and have been traveling the world ever since. And our last video, we talked about the decision that we made to do some things on our own. And this is the first time that we have both been traveling solo. We did it once before where, we did it for about a week. This is going to be for the whole month that we're going to be traveling. And like I said, I'm excited, I'm nervous. And what this video is we're going to talk about three things that I'm actually a little bit apprehensive about, and what this is like to be a solo male traveler. And maybe this is for you, maybe it's not for you, but this is my particular story. So, why is this important? What's different about being a solo male over 65 traveler versus a couple traveler? Well, for one thing, we're used to making, joint decisions. We decide on where we're going to go, on what we're going to do. We make these decisions, big decisions like, are we going to take that cruise to Hawaii? And small decisions like, where are we going to get coffee at the coffee shop this morning? And we usually make those decisions together. I'm the kind of person that I'm a pleaser. So I'd like other people around me to be happy. That makes me happy. And so being by myself is going to be a completely different situation, something that I am just not used to. So if you want to know, where I'm going, I am in the country of Spain, and Chris is in the Channel Islands, in the island of Jersey, and we're going to not see each other for the next 30 days. So I think one of the big things about traveling with other people is having shared experiences and shared memories. I was just thinking about in the past year, we went to something like 22 different countries and did things like, climbing the mountains in Patagonia and zip lining in Costa Rica and seeing the waterfalls in Argentina and hiking the Atacama Desert in Chile. These are amazing experiences, and I think about what it's like to share experiences with other people and what it might be if you're traveling solo and doing it without having that kind of shared experience. And also, traveling solo, I think, could be more expensive. I know it's going to be more expensive. Well, in this case, traveling solo, we both have to pay for a place to live. So I think this is going to be more expensive, and looking at ways that I can actually save money as a solo traveler and not spend as much money as I normally would. So those are things that are different about traveling as a team or traveling with a partner versus traveling alone. But now I want to get into the few of the things that I'm really concerned about being a solo male over 65 traveler. The first one is isolation. I'm not used to being alone all the time, and it's something that I think I'm going to have to get used to. I think other people are okay with that. They're okay being alone, and I am okay being alone, but am I going to be okay being alone for a whole month? And what am I going to do about that? I am going to be doing another video that's going to be coming up that's going to be more specific about the kinds of things that I'm going to be doing in the next month to combat some of these factors. But isolation is a big one. One of the things that I think about is that I wear hearing aids. And the reason I wear hearing aids is because I often have difficulty in conversations. So I wear hearing aids in order to have that clarity and have that feeling of comfort that I can understand people in a conversation. Yesterday, I realized that I woke up, I spent the entire day, I didn't put my hearing aids in. And there's a reason. I didn't talk to anybody. There was no reason to have my hearing aids in because there was nothing to listen to except the voice of my own head, which sometimes can be a little troubling. But that's another subject. So not having that companionship and feeling that isolation can be a problem. And I'm a little bit concerned about that and a little bit worried on how that's going to impact me over the next month. Also, isolation means that I can kind of do the things that I want to do, and maybe some of those things aren't as beneficial as I might choose if I was with another person. You know, I'm afraid that I might just be sitting on the couch all day long eating chicken wings and pizza. And that's not good. That's not a good thing. So I want to be able to stay active and I want to be able to keep myself engaged. But I'm worried about that factor. I'm worried about that, you know, the isolation of like, well, what does it matter if I do something or if I do nothing? You know, there's nobody around who, you know, who it matters for. And then the last thing about isolation that I'm a little bit concerned about is safety. I'm usually a pretty safe person. I don't get into, you know, places. I don't go places and do things that I shouldn't do. But, you know, there is safety in numbers, right? And so when you're with another person or with a group of people, I think I might feel safer than where I am by myself. And the first point that I should have made is that I'm in Spain and I don't speak Spanish very well. I speak a little bit. You know, yesterday I was getting on the bus and my card didn't work on the card reader, and the bus driver said something to me in his sentence. I heard the word efectivo, and I know enough Spanish to know that means, do you have cash? So he was asking me if I had cash. So I nodded and I took out my cash and I paid with cash. I actually knew how to ask him how much, and I didn't give him the correct change, but I gave him close enough. And that's about how much Spanish I know. And I am going to potentially be in situations where I'm not going to understand what people are saying, and I'm not going to know how to respond to them. And I'm a little bit concerned about that. Chris is very good in Spanish. She will often start conversations with people in Spanish and tell jokes in Spanish. And she says that she's not very good at speaking the language, but she is really good at it. And I'm always like, I can understand a little bit of the conversation that's going on. But it worries me. It worries me a little bit. So let's talk about the second thing that I am concerned about being a solo male over 65 traveler, and that is having a sense of purpose. I think this is a big deal for men. Men need to have a reason for being. And in a lot of cases in our travel, in our partnership with Chris, you know, we're working on logistics, we're helping each other out, figuring out where we're going to go, what we're going to do. And I feel like I'm a very integral part of a team. And I am a little bit worried in this situation about just not really having a sense of purpose and a sense of being that is very important to me. Of course, before we started traveling full time, you know, I had a job, had a house, had to worry about the cars. I had a to-do list. I had a to-do list a mile long. It never got done. So the sense of purpose and the sense of the sense of need was really strong. And we've been able to maintain that as full-time travelers. But I think as a solo traveler, I'm going to have to come up with some strategies for that. And I'm going to share that with you in the next video. Third thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is just straight out like fear and regret. Like, is this going to be a big mistake? Is this going to be something that I'm going to regret being alone for a whole month? I want to be able to have good experiences. I want to be able to continue to travel the world and enjoy my retirement life as a traveler, as I have been for the last 5 years. And so I'm going to have a real strategy, I think, on how to cope with all of this free time and all of this time that I can do whatever I want. Well, I want to make sure that that is really valuable time spent and really time that I feel proud of. The selfies might not be as good, as they were when there's two people and we're taking selfies at a waterfall and climbing a mountain and doing incredible adventurous things. And also, Chris is our social calendar keeper. So she's the one that has the Facebook group. By the way, if you want to join our Facebook group, go ahead and follow this link here. We have an amazing group where we can share our ideas and we can identify where there are other full-time travelers and where there are other nomads around the world and have shared experiences and shared meetups. We do this all the time. We've got an amazing social calendar of meeting people and talking to other travelers. And I'm really afraid that me not being able to drive or not having the motivation to drive that, because men aren't good. I'm not good at making friends. I'm not good at making connections. I'm not good at making friends. I'm not good at keeping friends. It's just not something that I feel comfortable with. And I think that's a normal thing for men, maybe older men, just not being that social and just not going out of the way to create those social connections. So I'm going to have to do some things to really, I don't want to say force myself, but to make those things happen and happen in a different way because I'm not together with my wife at this time for the next month. I'm in good health. I'm not worried about my health too much, but again, I'm alone, and what if something happens? So I want to make sure that I'm safe and that I stay in good physical condition. All right, so I've talked a lot about some of the negatives. I really want to talk about the positives because this is not all doom and gloom. There are a lot of exciting things that I'm really happy about. One is an opportunity to grow and an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to express my independence. For one thing, I am writing a book. I've talked about this before, and I am in the first phase of the editing stage. Really excited about that. I think it's really coming together, and this book is going to be something that other people are really going to get a lot out of. It is a fiction book. It is a story about a traveler, and I won't tell you anything else about it because you'll just have to read the book when it comes out, maybe sometime in the next year. I'm also, going to be working on my self-confidence and my self-assuredness. I'm going to be forcing myself to speak Spanish and to have conversations with people in Spanish. I've got a plan for that also coming up, and that's going to help me grow and help me develop my language skills and my confidence. It's everything that I do. I'm going to be working on my comfort zone and stretching my comfort zone, even if it's just moving at my own pace, whether that be fast or that be slow. I can take advantage of this opportunity to do things the way I want to do them and not have to worry about a partner and what somebody else thinks. So creativity is a big deal. Self-reliance, growing emotionally, growing in confidence. These are some big things that I'm excited about exploring and excited about in my full-time travel. Like I mentioned, there is going to be a video number 2 coming up soon that's going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do and give you some nice tips, I think, I'm not sure, on some things that you can do if you're interested in being a full-time traveler. I'd appreciate it if you would click that subscribe button below and click that alert bell so that you're notified when we have additional videos coming up. If you're interested in the life of a full-time traveler and you're interested in this saga of my experience of being a solo male traveler over 65. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video and peace out.